Hey, what's up? This time I'm back with a different kind of video. I want to explore more long videos that capture the whole process because I feel like there is a lot that gets lost in these shorter videos on Instagram and TikTok. So yeah, let's dive into it and I'm excited to hear your thoughts. To kick off this project, I started it with a digital sketch, just so I get a rough idea of my composition, and mainly just to see how much space I need. So it's really not about the letters here, more about the composition. Alright, next up I'm actually putting on a mask, because these markers are alcohol based and I'm not working in a well ventilated room, and I'm going to work a lot with them. For this sketch right here, I'm doing another sketch on a piece of paper. I wanted to see if I can fit it on an A3 sized one, but as you can see, it's pretty close to the edge, so I went for a bigger size. Yeah, that's not the bigger size paper, that's just to test out some color comps. And I'm searching for colors that look good when they overlay. First up, I tried a purple and green combination. I then tried to combine it with an orange, but that wasn't quite my color comp. So I went for this light blue and on top of it pink. And I really like this overlaying effect these three colors give you. I also tried it with an extra layer of yellow, but this wasn't really it. Before I start recording, I'm positioning the camera according to this sketch and I'm using this focus card to set the focus. And then it's finally time to write. You can see I'm doing a couple of moves above the paper just to get this movement going and to see how much space I would need. And here we have the first nice kind of straight stroke. Next one is the O. I always like this one, but it's a bit hard to make it in one smooth motion. This one turned out alright, just making this little stroke at the bottom. Now I'm repositioning the camera and setting the focus right again using this focus card. And we are back writing. For these straight strokes, I try to keep my wrist steady and make the movement out of my whole arm. Actually, for this size, it's not just my arm, it's my whole body that I'm moving. Time to reposition the paper, the camera and set the focus right again. And I'm testing if I have enough space and where I would need to start to have the words centered on the paper. Moving the camera and setting the focus again, because I want to get a nice close-up shot of this O. Plus, I want to make it in one smooth motion, so you see me practicing this beforehand. And next up we have the S. This one is also a bit tricky sometimes, and I decided to break off this letter at the bottom and make a second stroke to connect this bottom part. And last one, the E, always a fun one in my opinion and quite an easy one. Now we are in the third row and I'm repositioning the paper and setting the focus right again and starting with the Y. And with the next letter I'm stumbling a bit into a problem because the E is a bit too low or the R too high, and you have the top part of the R touching the bottom part of the E. So I started a bit below the top, but it really didn't turn out that nice. So I decided then that I would scrap this take and start a new piece, but use this opportunity to quickly sketch in the last spot to see how I would position it and to see if I have enough space. You can see I write it really rough and quick just to get an idea of the composition here. And starting all over again. This time a bit more confident because I already wrote it a couple of times. And you can see the D is actually a bit straighter than before, but I don't like the top part. But I kept going. And the O didn't turn out that smooth, and I don't like the top part either. You can see where this is going. The N turns out quite okay. But it was then that I decided to rather start new at this point with a fresh new piece. And this time I'm actually not recording these first letters because I know I already recorded them a couple of times, and there is going to be a good take of this already. So this is going much faster. And I already like it way better than the first two attempts. For the T, I decided to make it a bit further to the right, since it's not really one single word, and still wanted to connect with the N because there was a little bit space at the top, so it ended up looking like this. Onto the S. This time I made it one single motion and didn't split it in two parts. I actually didn't like how the bottom part turned out, so I tried to go back in there. I actually made it a little bit worse, but I decided to leave it like that, and that wasn't a big deal since I will go over it again a couple of times with the other colors. I had to make this E a little bit wider to fill up the space on the right side. For the U, I decided to leave a space at the top of the right side to keep the letter legible. I actually ran into the same problem as in my first attempt. The R would now touch the bottom part of the E, but well, I just decided to try it. How bad can it be? I made the loop a bit sharper, so it's still legible. Alright, on to the last word. I was really hoping I placed this F at the right place, so the word is centered. And while writing the C, I noticed that it should be okay, but I unfortunately slipped up there and had to go back in there, which didn't look that smooth in the end. But it's gonna be alright, since we are going to go over it with the other colors as well. Speaking of other colors, let's start with this nice purple color. And what I'm going to do here is to basically trace the lettering, but just a little bit offset. And you can see how this pink is shining through this darker purple. Alright, at this point I might have to apologize for the quality drop. I switched to full HD from 4K because my old Sony camera was overheating, and apparently you can record longer in full HD. But I didn't know it would be that crazy drop of quality. So I'm gonna record 4K the next time and figure something else out, I guess. Yeah, I really like this step when you add more colors to it, and you can see how these colors are overlaying and how this pink is shining through the darker purple, and it's going to be even more fun with the third color. Maybe I have to try more than 3 colors. That would be something, wouldn't it? Alright, going in with the last color, this nice blue. Yeah, I really love this effect of the overlaying colors. You actually get this nice drying effect because of this watercolor paper. It sucks in the ink really quick, so I actually don't have to wait that long for the paint to dry. Alright, now that we are done with the basic lettering and the colors, let's move on to the details. I'm using here the Winsor & Newton Pro markers and roughly picking similar colors to add in finer details such as these nice lines and circles and stuff like this to fill up a bit of the negative space and to give this whole lettering a bit more dynamic. I also started to overlay the color of the details to pick up this overlaying theme there as well. And I'm just going through these 3 colors that I have and adding details with each of those colors. And in the end I picked up a black fine liner to draw in even finer details, finer lines, finer circles, stuff like this. And I also added an offset outline on top of the lettering, which is always kind of fun, but it needs to be clean and straight. I wrapped up the details with a couple of smaller quotes all around the lettering to give this otherwise rather clean lettering a bit of a rough look. And that's actually it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think and if you would like to see more of these types of videos. And also if you like these voiceovers or if you would prefer music. I kind of talked a lot throughout this video. So yeah, I'm excited to hear your thoughts and thanks for watching.